Hello everyone. Our today's topic is learning disabilities. Introduction. This term is first used by Dr. Samuel Kirk. तो ये टर्म सबसे पहले किसने यूज़ करी है? डॉक्टर सैम्यूल किर्क and he is also called the father of learning disabilities, and it is heterogeneous group of disorders who have most common disabilities like listening, reading, speaking, writing, mathematical abilities and reasoning. So these types of students facing these problems, listening problem, reading problems, problems in speaking, in writing, in mathematical, so these are disabilities. A learning disability is not a problem with intelligence or motivation. This is by birth or having any other reason. These are signs and symptoms of learning disabilities. Like in preschool age, student facing problems in pronouncing words, trouble finding the right word, difficulty in rhyming, trouble learning the alphabet, numbers, colors, shapes, or days of the week. Means in preschool age, children facing these problems: how to learn the alphabet, how to learn the numbers, how to learn the colors, difficulty following direction or learning routines. Child don't know how to move and which direction they move because they are facing problem in this. Difficulty in controlling crayons, pencils and scissors or coloring with the lines, and also facing troubling with buttons, how to button their shirt, how to close their zips, snaps, or learning to tie their shoes. So these are the difficulties faces in preschool age, and difficulties faces in 5 to 9 in your age group: trouble learning the connection between letters and sound, slow to learn new skills, trouble learning basic math concept, difficulty in telling time, he don't know how to tell time, where minute minute hand and where is hour end, and don't know remembering sequences, how to remember what after 1 and what after 15. So these are the problems. Next age group, 10 to 13 years. In this age group, difficulties of poor handwriting, dislikes in reading, writing, avoid reading aloud, trouble with open ended test questions and word problems. Also facing problem in spell the same word differently in a single document. Means एक ही वर्ड को जब वो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टाइम स्पेल करते हैं तो उसमें उनको प्रॉब्लम आती है. Poor organizational skills like bedroom, homework and desk are messy and disorganized. इस एज ग्रुप में बच्चों का जो बेडरूम होता है, होमवर्क बेडरूम होता है, वो मैसी होता है, उन्हें अरेंज करना नहीं आता है. ट्रबल विद ओपन एंडेड टेस्ट क्वेश्चन, लाइक अगर हमने उनको बोल दिया कि आपको यहाँ का मैनेजर बना दिया जाता है या आप स्कूल के टीचर हो, तो आप इसको कैसे मैनेज करोगे? सो दीज आर ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चन. तो स्टूडेंट थिंक्स बट ही फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम, हाउ टू आंसर, how I will manage, and these are the problems. And these are the specific learning disabilities which we are learn: dyslexia, dyscalculia, graphia, dyspraxia, dysphasia, which is also called aphasia, auditory processing disorder, and next is visual processing disorder, and ADHD is also a disorder. Number one is dyslexia. Dyslexia, it is a learning disability which faces in difficulty in reading. Student faces difficulty in reading. Reading also have two types. Basic reading problems occur when there is difficulty in understanding the relation between sounds, letters, and words. And reading comprehension problems occur when there is an inability to grasp the meaning of words, phrases, and paragraphs. And these are the signs of dyslexia which we are seen in children who have dyslexia. The letter and word recognition, जो चाइल्ड है वो लेटर और वर्ड को रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं कर पाता है. अंडरस्टैंडिंग वर्ड्स एंड आइडियाज़, उनके जो जो वर्ड्स होते हैं, जो आइडियाज़ होते हैं, उसको अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर पाता. उसको रीडिंग में जो होती है उसकी स्पीड नहीं होती, फ्लुएंटली स्पीक नहीं कर पाता है. एंड जनरल वोकेबलरी स्किल्स. So these are the symptoms. And next one is dyscalculia. Dyscalculia is difficulty in mathematic abilities. A child with a math-based learning disorder may struggle with the memorization. जो बच्चा है वो मैथ्स के, उसको इसमें मैथ से रिलेटेड डिसऑर्डर होता है क्योंकि वो मेमोराइज नहीं कर पाता है. उसे मेमोरी से रिलेटेड है, कैसे क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व किया जाएगा. और उसको ऑल्सो फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ नंबर्स, operations, science and number facts. Like students don't know how to use plus, minus, how to solve these problems. Like 6 plus 6 is 12 or 6 into 6 is 36. So students who have this problem have facing problems. So these are dyscalculia. Individuals might have difficulty in reading clocks. So this is also a dyscalculia because those individuals who have facing problem in reading clocks, how much time it is, 5 o'clock, okay, but 5:50 they don't know, 5:25, 5:45, so they are facing problem in these counting money. They are not easily count money. Identifying patterns, they are not easily identify patterns ki how these are making in a sequence. Remembering math facts, they don't know how much 5 into 5, 6 into 6. So these are the learning disabilities in dyscalculia. Next is dysgraphia. Dysgraphia, disabilities in writing can involve the physical act of writing or the mental activity of comprehending information. So dysgraphia mainly facing problem in writing. Suffers struggle to translate their thoughts into writing. So child suffers to translate their thoughts in writing, whether in spelling form, grammar, vocabulary, critical thinking, or memory. And signs of dysgraphia, difficulties writing in a straight line. Those students who have this learning disability are not writing in a straight line. Difficulty with holding and controlling a writing tool means they are facing difficulty in controlling pencil, pen, writing letters in reverse form, having trouble recalling how letters are formed, omitting words from sentences, incorrectly ordering words in sentence. Like I'm going to school, so they are writing I going am to school. So they are facing problem using verbs and pronouns incorrectly, struggling to form written sentence with correct grammar and punctuation. So this is learning disabilities, symbols of dysgraphia. Next one is dyspraxia. Dyspraxia, learning disabilities, motor skills. Okay, motor difficulty refers to problems with the movement and coordination of hand, eye hand coordination. So it is with fine motor skills like cutting, writing. Fine motor skills are when we use anything for cutting, when we use pencil for writing. So these are fine motor skills. Gross motor skill, running, jumping, walking. So these are motor skills. Gross motor skills. The motor skills are two types: gross motor skills and fine motor skills. ग्रॉस मोटर स्किल्स लाइक बच्चा कोई चीज़ अगर हम उसको देते हैं तो पूरे हैंड से उसको उठाता है, फुल यूज़ ऑफ फुल हैंड. बट इन फाइन मोटर स्किल्स student uses their fingers for writing, and in gross motor skill student use the full hand to take out anything. And signs of dyspraxia, problems performing subtle movements such as tying shoelaces, Student facing problems in tying shoelaces, doing up buttons and zips, using cutlery and handwriting. Many will have difficulties getting dressed. Problem with classroom movements such as using scissors for any activity, coloring in drawing, playing jigsaw games, and etc. Aphasia and dysphasia. Aphasia and dysphasia is same. Aphasia is also called dysphasia, and these are learning disabilities in language. Language is also considered an output activity because it requires organizing thoughts in the brain. अगर हम किसी भी चीज़ को सोचते हैं, हमें किसी चीज़ की प्लानिंग करनी है, तो सबसे पहले हम थिंकिंग करते हैं, और अगर हम थिंकिंग हमारे थॉट्स में करते हैं, तो हमारे थॉट्स के लिए भी हमें लैंग्वेज चाहिए होती है, हम किसी लैंग्वेज में ही उसको थॉट करते हैं। तो जब स्टूडेंट अगर फेसिंग कर रहा है लैंग्वेज का, तो वो थॉट उसके जो होते हैं वो क्लियर नहीं हो पाते। दैट्स वाई एंड कॉलिंग अपॉन द राइट वर्ड्स टू वर्बली एक्सप्लेन और कम्युनिकेट समथिंग। समटाइम्स we are also having problem like how to explain this thing, which vocabulary is correct for this. So this is aphasia dysphasia. Signs of language based learning disorder involve problems with verbal language skill, such as the ability to retell a story, fluency of speech, and the ability to understand the meaning of words. Next is types of aphasia. Aphasia is also different types: expressive dysphasia, receptive aphasia, anomic dysphasia, global dysphasia, progressive dysphasia. I will explain types of aphasia in another video. Auditory processing disorder. In auditory processing disorder, patients have difficulty in processing sounds. Individuals with auditory processing disorder confuse the order of sounds or be unable to filter different sounds, like a teacher voice versus background noise. In APD, the brain misinterprets the information received and perceived from there. Like हम कहीं पे बैठते हैं, अगर हमें दो चीज़ों की साउंड आ रही है तो हम कहते हैं यार प्लीज़ चुप हो जाओ, हमें क्लियर ही नहीं हो रहा है, हम डिस्ट्रैक्शन हो रहा है। तो दिस इज़ ऑल्सो ऑडिटरी प्रोसेसिंग डिसऑर्डर. Visual processing disorder, problems in visual perception, including missing subtle differences in shapes, reversing letters or numbers, skipping words like 250 25, the student written it 52. So this is reversing letters or numbers, skipping words. Sometimes any student reading any chapter and influently he skip any word, so this is skipping word, skipping lines in reading, misperceiving depth or distance, or having problems with eye hand coordination. देखना कहीं और लिखना कहीं और, this is also visual processing disorder. Visual perception can affect motor skills, reading comprehension and math. And last one is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which is ADHD. ADHD is the one of the most common neurodevelopment disorder of childhood. But ADHD is one of the most common neurodevelopment disorders of childhood, and it is usually first diagnosed in childhood and often lasts into adulthood. Children with ADHD may have trouble paying attention, controlling impulsive behavior, and signs of ADHD are daydreaming a lot. Like दिन में वो सपने देखते हैं कि ऐसा होएगा ये होएगा, बट वो कर नहीं पाते, उसके लिए कोई प्लानिंग नहीं है. फॉरगेट और लूज थिंग्स अ लॉट, कोई चीज़ कहीं रख दी और पता ही नहीं है कि वो कहाँ, उसे ढूंढते रहते हैं. स्क्वेरिम और फिडजेट, टॉक टू मच, मेक केयरलेस मिस्टेक्स और टेक unnecessary risks, have a hard time resisting temptation, have trouble taking turns, have difficulty getting along with others. They are also facing difficulty with others, how to talk, how to manage it all. So these are signs of ADHD or symptoms of ADHD. So thank you so much. I hope you like my video. Thank you and thank you so much.